The dinosaurs of the Lost Valley. In a time long, long ago, before humans walked the earth, there was a beautiful and mysterious place called the Lost Valley. The Lost Valley was hidden deep in a great forest. The trees were so tall that they touched the sky, and the plants were so big that they looked like giant green umbrellas. The valley was a peaceful place where many kinds of dinosaurs lived together. In the center of the Lost Valley, there was a huge lake. The water in the lake was crystal clear, and many dinosaurs came there to drink and rest. One of these dinosaurs was a gentle, long-necked creature named Bronto. Bronto was a brachiosaurus, one of the biggest dinosaurs in the valley. He had a long neck that allowed him to reach the highest leaves on the trees. Bronto was friendly and loved to share food with his friends. Bronto had a best friend named Raptor. Raptor was a small but very smart velociraptor. He was fast and always full of energy. Even though Raptor was much smaller than Bronto, they were like brothers. They spent every day together, exploring the valley and discovering new things. One sunny morning, Bronto and Raptor decided to visit the great mountain, which stood at the edge of the Lost Valley. The mountain was so high that its top was hidden in the clouds. No dinosaur had ever climbed the great mountain, and many said it was too dangerous. No dinosaur had ever climbed the great mountain, and many said it was too dangerous. But Bronto and Raptor were curious and wanted to see what was on the other side. As they walked towards the mountain, they passed through dense forests and crossed wide rivers. They saw many other dinosaurs along the way, like the Triceratops with its big horns and strong shield, and the Stegosaurus with its spiky tail and plates on its back. All the dinosaurs were busy with their own lives, eating plants, playing, or resting. When Bronto and Raptor reached the foot of the great mountain, they looked up and saw how steep the path was. Raptor was excited, but Bronto was a little nervous. "Are you sure we can do this?" Bronto asked. "It looks really high." Raptor smiled and said, "Don't worry, Bronto. We'll take it slow and help each other. It will be an adventure." They started climbing the mountain, step by step. The path was rocky and sometimes narrow, but they kept going. As they climbed higher, the air became cooler, and they could see the entire Lost Valley below them. It was the most beautiful view they had ever seen. After a long climb, they reached a flat area where they could rest. Bronto was tired, but Raptor was still full of energy. "Look, Bronto!" Raptor shouted, pointing to something shiny in the distance. "There's something up there. Let's go see what it is." They continued their climb, and soon they reached a large cave near the top of the mountain. Inside the cave, they found something amazing. A huge, sparkling crystal. The crystal was glowing with a soft light, and it made the whole cave look magical. "Wow!" Bronto said in awe. "What is this?" Raptor touched the crystal with his claw and said, "I don't know, but it's beautiful. Maybe it's a treasure from the time when the earth was young." As they admired the crystal, they heard a strange noise coming from deeper inside the cave. It sounded like a low growl. Bronto and Raptor froze. "What was that?" Bronto whispered. I don't know, Raptor replied quietly. But we should be careful. They slowly walked deeper into the cave, following the sound. The growling grew louder, and soon they saw a shadow moving in the darkness. Bronto and Raptor were scared, but they didn't run away. They wanted to know what was making the noise. Suddenly, a huge dinosaur appeared in front of them. It was a Tyrannosaurus Rex, the most fearsome predator in the Lost Valley. The T-Rex was bigger and stronger than any dinosaur they had ever seen. His sharp teeth gleamed in the light of the crystal. Bronto and Raptor stood still, not knowing what to do. The T-Rex looked at them with his fierce eyes and growled again. But then something unexpected happened. The T-Rex did not attack. Instead, he spoke. Who are you, and why have you come to my cave? The T-Rex asked in a deep, rumbling voice. Bronto and Raptor were shocked. They had never heard of a talking T-Rex before. Bronto gathered his courage and said, We are from the Lost Valley. We came to explore the great mountain and found this cave. We didn't know it was your home. The T-Rex looked at them for a moment and then said, I am Rex, the guardian of the great mountain. This crystal is a part of the mountain's heart. It keeps the Lost Valley safe and hidden from the outside world. Only a few dinosaurs know about it. Raptor was amazed. So, this crystal is protecting the valley? That's incredible. Rex nodded. Yes, it is. But it also comes with great responsibility. Those who know about the crystal must protect it, or the valley could be in danger. Bronto and Raptor understood the importance of what Rex was saying. They promised to keep the secret and help protect the Lost Valley. Rex, seeing their sincerity, allowed them to leave the cave unharmed. As they began their journey back down the mountain, Bronto and Raptor felt proud of what they had learned. They knew that the Lost Valley was a special place and that they had a duty to protect it. But little did they know, this was just the beginning of their adventure. Something even greater was waiting for them in the Lost Valley, something that would test their courage and friendship like never before. Bronto and Raptor returned to the Lost Valley, still amazed by their adventure on the Great Mountain. They couldn't stop thinking about Rex, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, who guarded the crystal, but they kept their promise and told no one about what they had seen. The valley continued to be peaceful, with the dinosaurs living their lives as usual. Days turned into weeks, and life in the Lost Valley seemed normal. However, Bronto noticed that something was changing. The weather was becoming strange, storms were growing stronger, and the rivers were rising higher than before. Raptor, always alert, noticed that some dinosaurs were acting nervous. They didn't know what was wrong, but they felt that something bad was about to happen. One night, as Bronto and Raptor were resting by the lake, they saw a group of dinosaurs gathering nearby. They were whispering to each other, looking worried. Bronto and Raptor went over to see what was going on. What's happening? Bronto asked. A Triceratops named Trixie, who was known for her wisdom, replied, We have heard strange noises coming from the far side of the valley, near the dark forest. The ground is shaking, and the trees are falling. We fear that something terrible is coming. Raptor's eyes widened. The dark forest? No one ever goes there. It's too dangerous. Trixie nodded. Yes, that's why we're so worried. We need to find out what's causing this before it's too late. Bronto and Raptor looked at each other. They knew what they had to do. We'll go to the dark forest and see what's happening, Bronto said. If there's danger, we need to stop it. The other dinosaurs were surprised by their bravery, but they knew that Bronto and Raptor were strong and clever. Trixie gave them a small bag of special leaves that could heal wounds and wished them luck. The next morning, Bronto and Raptor set out for the dark forest. The journey was long and difficult. The path was overgrown with thorny bushes, and the air was thick with fog. The deeper they went into the forest, the darker it became. Strange sounds echoed through the trees, and the ground felt unstable under their feet. As they reached the heart of the dark forest, they saw something that made them stop in their tracks. The ground was cracked, and smoke was rising from the earth. In the center of the cracks, there was a deep, dark hole that seemed to have no bottom. Around the hole, the trees were dead, and the air was filled with a strange, burning smell. "What is this?" Raptor whispered, feeling a chill run down his spine. "I don't know," Bronto replied, his voice trembling. "But it's not natural. It feels wrong." Suddenly, they heard a loud roar coming from the hole. It was a roar like no other, filled with anger and pain. The ground shook violently, and the hole began to widen. Bronto and Raptor quickly moved back, watching in horror as something massive began to rise from the depths. It was a creature unlike any they had ever seen, a gigantic dinosaur with sharp claws, glowing red eyes, and scales as black as the night. Its roar was so powerful that it made the trees shake and the ground tremble. "It's a Giganotosaurus," Raptor exclaimed. "But how did it get here?" The Giganotosaurus climbed out of the hole and looked around, its eyes burning with rage. It was clear that this creature was not from the Lost Valley. It was something ancient and powerful, awakened from a long sleep deep within the earth. Bronto and Raptor knew they had to act fast. If the Giganotosaurus reached the valley, it would destroy everything in its path. But how could they stop such a fearsome creature? Just then, Bronto remembered the crystal in the Great Mountain. "Raptor, we need to get Rex. He's the only one who can help us." Raptor nodded. "You're right. But we need to distract the Giganotosaurus so it doesn't follow us to the valley." Thinking quickly, Raptor ran around the Giganotosaurus, making loud noises and throwing rocks to get its attention. The giant creature roared and chased after Raptor, giving Bronto the chance to run towards the Great Mountain. Bronto ran as fast as he could, his long legs carrying him across the valley. He reached the foot of the mountain and called out, "Rex, Rex, we need your help." Within moments, Rex appeared at the entrance of the cave. He saw the fear in Bronto's eyes and knew that something was very wrong. "What is it?" "Bronto, there's a Giganotosaurus in the dark forest," Bronto explained quickly. "It came from a hole in the ground, and it's heading towards the valley. We can't stop it alone! Rex's expression grew serious. This is worse than I feared. The crystal's power is weakening, and the ancient forces below the earth are awakening. We must stop the Giganotosaurus before it destroys everything. Rex led Bronto back to the dark forest, where they found Raptor still trying to distract the Giganotosaurus. The giant creature was furious, smashing trees and roaring with anger. But when it saw Rex, it paused. The Giganotosaurus recognized Rex as a powerful leader and hesitated. Rex stood tall and fearless, facing the Giganotosaurus. "This is not your home," Rex said firmly. "Return to the depths from where you came. You have no place here." The Giganotosaurus growled, but it did not attack. It seemed to understand that Rex was not an enemy to be taken lightly. Slowly, it backed away towards the hole from which it had emerged. Rex turned to Bronto and Raptor. "We need to use the crystal's power to seal the hole and send the Giganotosaurus back. But it will take all our strength." Bronto and Raptor nodded. They stood beside Rex, focusing on the crystal's energy that Rex carried within him. Together, they summoned the power of the great mountain, and the crystal's light began to shine brightly. The ground beneath the Giganotosaurus started to shake, and the hole began to close. The creature roared one last time before it was pulled back into the depths of the earth. As the hole sealed shut, the forest grew quiet again, and the air cleared. Rex, Bronto, and Raptor were exhausted, but relieved. They had saved the Lost Valley from a terrible fate. The crystal's power was restored, and the valley was safe once more. "You both did well," Rex said, his voice filled with pride. "The Lost Valley is lucky to have protectors like you." Bronto smiled. "We couldn't have done it without you, Rex." Raptor grinned. "Yeah, and now we know that no matter what happens, we can face it together." As they made their way back to the valley, the sun began to rise, casting a golden light over the land. The dinosaurs of the Lost Valley awoke to a new day, unaware of the danger that had passed. But Bronto, Raptor, and Rex knew that they had a special duty to protect their home and keep its secrets safe. And so, the Lost Valley remained a place of peace and wonder, where the dinosaurs lived in harmony, guided by the courage and friendship of three unlikely heroes. The end.